Hello, hello, welcome on our channel. Last Saturday in November, we are at the very finish line of Lateralus. As always, thank you so much for all your comments and all the recommendations. In terms of the chronological order and our future journey, we've actually asked our patrons to help us out, and that's what we prepared for you for today. There is actually one more song left on the Lateralus album. It is quite a short, it's called Faaip de Oiad, and I'm not even sure whether it is a song.
No, it's actually kind of a recording of the voicemail. I wouldn't count it as a musical song, no.
Anyway, I really want to listen to it. I don't know how long the chat after the song will take, as we want to do a little bit of a summary of the whole album. And then we would like to listen Puscifer, the Humbling River. That's something new. That's something I haven't listened to yet. Some, step from Tool for a moment only. I also prepared the whole calendar for you guys. I hope you will forgive us not to start 10,000 days today, but I felt that the 10,000 days can be a nice thing to do in the December. I don't know, I call it a Christmas edition. It's something I came up with. I don't know whether it's relevant or no, whether it should be here. But on the next week, we have 5th of December. So we would look to listen to Vicarious. Then the 12th of December, we have Jambi. Then the 19th of December, just before Christmas, we have Wings for Marie, part 1 and 2. And I heard so many comments already, and I can't wait to listen to them. And I also think it's great that it will be on the 19th of December. And then we have the last Saturday this year in 2020, which was such a crazy year, and we will listen to the pot. So that's the whole calendar. All right, and that's it from me. Would you like to say anything else before we start?
No, only that I think that the pot is going to be pretty good ending of the year. And I'm glad you chose that.
Cool. So yeah, let's do it. Faaip de Oiad and then Puscifer, the Humbling River.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it sound like anything before?
Maybe a little bit. Minus ions?
Negative ions, yeah.
Yeah, negative.
It mentions Area 51.
I've kind of been running across the country, and I don't know where to start. They're gonna still triangulate on their mission really soon. Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens, they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that coming, the military, the government knows about them. There's a lot of safe areas in the world that they could begin moving the population to now. They want those major population centers wiped out. So that the few that are left will be
That's it.
A little bit like a horror movie.
Yeah, but I could like it sound like some kind of conspiration theory. I think and Area 51, obviously aliens were mentioned. I think that's a great ending for the Lateralus. If you think about it, like Lateralus speaks so much about humanity, and like the natural question after that is, are we alone? I think that's a great ending.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of a summary, isn't it? I just loaded up all the songs just to have a quick look into the songs on the album, and yeah, it fits. It fits so good, and the whole kind of it's again like this really different kind of ending, which can be in the sense the summary of the whole album. I looked up what Faaip de Oiad means. I couldn't find it in just standard translator, but I found out that it's some kind of Enochian language. I'm not sure whether I pronounced it correctly, but it means a voice of God as well.
Okay.
So the title is quite meaningful here. And when I look at the order, we had the Grudge, then Ion Blue Apocalypse, then the Patient, then Mantra, which was quite specific, wasn't it? And then we had Schism, Parabola, Ticks and Leeches, Lateralus, Disposition, Reflection, Triad, of course. So even in the Grudge, Saturn ascends. So honestly, it fits, throughout the whole, I'd say, Parabola, through Schism, then through the whole Triad and Lateralus. We had this kind of theme of the beginning of the universe and where are we coming from, why things that are happening to us are happening, why. There was this also subject of consciousness, of experiences. So it's all kind of fits here. It can all be linked to, are we actually alone in the universe? That's so good. That's so good. The Grudge and the Patient, they're even slightly different, I'd say. I would group them in a slightly different way than Parable and Parabola. But I think even then, the whole album kind of can be reflected and summarized as this ending. I didn't pick up everything that this guy was saying in Faaip de Oiad. But you can say the government knows, there was this kind of theme that there is actually more that we are aware of, that we don't know everything.
Yeah, that's what it was about pretty much. He was like chased by government or something. He was mentioning being triangulated, which is like get his position by the reference, by the position of like mobile networks, stations and things like that. So it sounded like he was very paranoidal and
but scared as well, yeah.
Scared,
and it also reminds me of quite a few Netflix series that we've been recently watched too. There's so many of them as well, isn't there, with this kind of theme of aliens or perhaps different dimensions. And that just a random thought I had as well. But I really, really loved Lateralus' album as a whole. I think it is a great masterpiece. And the more I look at each of these songs, the more I feel like I appreciate it with time as well. And thank you for showing Tool to me again. I love it.
Yeah, thank you for liking it.
I don't know if there's anything else we have to say, really, unless you would like to add something else before we proceed.
I would say, I think up to this point, every single, at least Tool track has been a source of thinking about deeper things, but on multiple levels, not only because of the lyrics, but also because of the composition of how things click with each other and even how they follow each other. Like it's using the word it's a journey is not oversaying that. It is a journey because of so many things.
Yeah, and even songs such as Mantra, I think that was the least. That was, I don't want to say the least. No, I'm gonna take it off completely. So essentially, even the Mantra, there were quite a harsh comments under Mantra compared to other songs. So that wasn't the one that was particularly liked by people. overall as compared to the other songs. But even in mantra, we could find these different things, and we could find the things that expanded this need of learning things, and expanded the thought process in us, which was great. So like each song just makes you think, and that's what I really like.
Yeah, I was just thinking right now about The Wizard of Oz, and there is this thing that you can watch The Wizard of Oz with the Pink Floyd album playing in parallel, and then it kind of makes sense. So it's like a different, like a movie with a different sound, right? And it's with Pink Floyd.
Okay.
And I wish, or maybe there is something, I wish there were something like this for Lateralus album. Like a good movie that's...
A reflection of the whole album via movie. Mhm.
Yeah, not like just the video for one song, but for the full album.
Oh.
And even I can see like the ending would be a great scene. Like even the mantra, every single track would be could be represented pretty well. I would definitely watch that movie.
That's so good, that's so good. I would love this. And I'm pretty sure if Tool would create something like this themselves, that's when it would be best, because that's when it would be most reflective of what they actually tried to say.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind to see anyone doing it, as long as it's done good.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, cool. And we had quite a great time going for these songs.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm gonna miss it.
I think the 10,000 days won't disappoint either.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I can't wait for 10,000 days. Okay, I think it's a good time to start the Humbling River. Can you tell me a bit more about the song, whether it's, a bit more about the albums, where this song classifies itself?
It's 2010. It's from the mid of the... so that I'm not gonna say the title of the album. You'll have to Google it for yourself. It's quite harsh, but it follows the naming convention of all the previous Puscifer albums. I don't think they do it anymore with the newer albums, but they used to do something like V for vagina, for example, and C is C for something like that. Anyway, the Puscifer in general, I think you haven't heard Puscifer yet. Definitely not.
Other than the Apocalyptical, because that was the first song I heard.
So actually,
and I really like that.
Actually, Apocalyptical can give you quite a good reference point of what to expect. I would say it's totally different. Maybe not totally, but it is a different genre than Tool.
Okay.
It's, I would say, more melodical, less harsh.
And there is a lady as well, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think really you're gonna like it. But
I didn't do a lot of research yet because I wanted to have a taster, and I was hoping to get a bit more information from you. So the Humbling River, the really nice title as well, by the way.
I would say one thing about this song is it really goes with the title. Like
okay.
Anyway. You got the lyrics?
Yes, I have. I prepared them.
Okay, so let's start. The Humbling River. Cool.
That's so nice.
Nature, nurture, heaven and home. Summer falling by them driven to conquer every mountain shown, but I've never crossed the river. Brave
I know. I can tell.
Angel, angel, what have I done? I faced the quakes, the wind, the fire. I've conquered country, crown and throne. Why can't I cross this river? Pay no mind to the battles you've won. It'll take a lot more than rage and muscle. Open your heart and hands, my son, or you'll never make it over the river. It'll take a lot more than words and guns, a whole lot more than riches and muscle. The hands of the many must join as one, and together we'll cross the river. It'll take a lot more than words and guns, a whole lot more than riches and muscle. The hands of the many must join as one, and together we'll cross the river. Nature, nurture, heaven. It'll take a lot more than words and guns. Some more falling by their a whole lot more than riches and muscle. To conquer every mountain. The hands of the many must join as one, and together we'll cross the river. Brave the forest, brave. It'll take a lot more than words and guns. Brave the icy winds, a whole lot more than riches and muscle. Brave can be the hands of the many must join as one, and together we'll cross the river. And together we'll cross the river. And together we'll cross the river. Nature, nurture, heaven and home. And together we'll cross the river. Nature, nurture, heaven and home. And together we'll cross the river.
Oh, that was so good. Oh, I love that. Oh, and her voice and his voice as well. Oh my God.
Everything was so gentle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was completely different. Yeah, but I wanted to say, oh my God, his voice sounds different as well, like different voice phase. And then you have a lady when she comes in. Oh, that was such a beautiful mixture. The second voice, and you know what's even more great in the song? He was like so delicately, so sensitively singing that he is struggling to cross the river. He can't do it, and then she comes almost as if an angel. This
I
voice
see.
had a meaning because at the end they say that they together they will cross the river.
Yeah, and
It's so good, isn't it?
I think it's pretty straightforward message coming from this song, isn't it?
Yeah, I felt like, and it's also like easy compared to some of the Tool songs
Yeah.
in the sense that you just go with the flow. You don't have to sometimes overthinking. I mean, for me, it just flown, and she was, again, her voice was not just a beautiful addition to the song, beautiful second voice. It was actually almost as if an angel, someone that helps
So it
him
had
to actually cross the river. And then at the end you have, and together we will cross the river.
yeah, like the voice had actual meaning to the
Yeah.
song. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and-
awesome.
Not just the fact that it was such an amazing mixture of voices. Oh dear. Yeah, so great. we can have a bit more of a chat about the lyrics as well, though. Like you said, they are a bit more straightforward, and also the second voice, it kind of guides you through it as well, and you can get this feeling right away that that's the aim of it. That's the angel that will help you. That can be some of, crossing the river, when you cross the river, when you struggle, when you have some tough decisions to make. So it can have, again, a few layers as well. Just the crossing the river can be quite metaphorical, right?
Yeah, maybe I just said it's more straightforward, but at the same time I still have questions of what this means, and I definitely think that crossing the river means some bigger obstacle that one cannot just cross, like
Or struggling to cross. They don't know what to do. How they gonna overcome it?
yeah, but they also give you an examples. He gives you examples of that he has done many things, but like brave the forest, brave the stone, brave the icy winds and fire. Like he's tough guy, let's say, but
Or a
he's
tough person. It
of a-
doesn't have
yeah,
to
yeah,
be him.
of course. But he still is helpless by the river. Like there's this one thing. But what is this thing? Do you think it's something concrete that they have in mind, or is it just a metaphorical, bigger obstacle?
It can be quite metaphorical because it can be some kind of obstacle, And even you're right, I faced the quakes, the wind, the fire. So it is someone tough, or perhaps someone who either dealt with a lot of difficult situations before, or either someone who presents themselves as someone really tough that can handle anything. But then why can I cross? Can't
But-
I cross the river? So it can be like a really big obstacle that they can't do something, or it can be something that some other person could consider really easy, like
That's
showing feelings, for example.
exactly my thoughts. I was thinking that he's first showing those physical characteristics of himself or herself to make it like a in contrast to things that are not that easy for him. I think I know what you mean. I just don't can say it.
So what I see someone I know who always, who can face anything, who is such a strong person, yet they have real problems expressing their feelings. And that's what they find most difficult task.
Yeah, and especially the verse, "Open your heart and hands, my son, or you will never make it over the river." So it's like a heart that, like, it's needed to open your heart to get your emotions going in order to do that task. So this crossing the river might represent something that is, something that requires other side of a person, not just physical one, but emotional.
Also, overcome your own fears. And but by open your heart, it may be, some kind of a statement to allow somebody else help as well, and to be open for help, or to allow the person you love to help you out, and just be honest with them.
Yes, but also in almost the last verse, he says, or they say, "The hands of the many must join as one." So I'm thinking it might be about, like, it requires more people, or it might be more about unity in humans, like unity of many people coming together rather than just two, as in love, for example. It might be something more.
So it could have been, if we would go with the direction of, the more individual, I wouldn't probably focus on this. But if we would go with more social aspect and to try to represent this as a whole society, on a more societal level, on, more uniform, again, what crosses my mind is the people as one organism, right? So people as one organism, the fact that we are developing as a society, right? The constant improvement of technological one, historical. We are tough in that sense. The humanity is tough.
Yeah, and exactly to your point right now. First two verses: nature, nurture, heaven and home, some of all, and by them driven. That's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Some of all, and by them driven. Some of all on Biden driven. I wonder what this may mean.
I,
What do you reckon?
I think it's like that the society is made up from all the people and they drive it as in it's driven by every one of them somehow. And to conquer every mountain show, but I've never crossed this river. And there's this change. Like first he says about some of all, which mean multiple things, but I've never, just a singular. It's interesting.
Yeah, because you are still part of this society, aren't you? So it is made of individuals like you. Yeah, it is interesting, but although I think I would prefer to look at the song from the perspective of an individual, I feel it a bit more this way. Maybe it's because of my mood today. So, it can be, I'm going to listen to it tomorrow and I will have this, great idea. Oh my God, it's about society. But I feel like today I just prefer to look at it from the perspective of an individual, someone who is really tough in certain things, yet struggles with other things, and they need this angel, this extra force. They need to open their heart to this angel who will help and help them go through it.
Yeah, I would go with this as well, actually. Also, a random thought. There's there's many more rhymes in that song than in any other Tool songs we listened to.
Which one, for example?
I mean, like, if you can see every other verse. So, home, shown, driven river, stone, own, fire river. It's like very traditional, I would say.
Structure of
catchy, also,
of lyrics.
There's like 4 verses, and in every part. Yeah, it's like very
eight fours and twos. Yeah. That's also true, but it all makes sense here. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Even like the structure of the song and the way it went, and then the second voice that was added somewhere in the middle, it was indeed what you mentioned at the beginning. It feels as almost the humble in the river. It was kind of flowing.
Exactly.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, and also they after singing the last part, they still picked up random verses from the previous ones. I don't know if you noticed, like. After they sing for the first time and together we'll cross the river, they came back to some of the previous verses, like brave the forest, brave the stone, and they connected it with another verses from the last part, which was, I think, quite interesting and very thought through.
Yeah, like a technical expression within the song. But you know what? Even though like they kind of put in those words. So there's not, like you said, it seems quite easy to some degree. Oh, I keep hearing this voice. What is it?
It's your phone.
Oh, sorry guys. I hope you don't mind. I don't know why it's doing it today.
It's probably not set to do not disturb.
Probably. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that we said at the beginning that it seems quite easy, easy to pick up, not so sophisticated, but yet the more you look at it, the more sophisticated it is, despite this certain words that are keep being repeated, because it's like adding these extra layers, because even though these words are being repeated, then it's not just you, it's not just your own struggle, there is someone else who can help you.
Just the first layer is more accessible, but there's still many layers. That's how I would describe it.
Absolutely beautiful. You know what? And I love the voices. Yeah, in general, I do like when there's some addition of extra voice. I just really like.
I noticed that it's the second Puscifer song you listened to. Like you said, you listened to Apocalyptical off the camera when they released it in the start of pandemic.
Yeah, I just pressed the button
and you liked it like immediately, if I remember correctly, and same with this one. So I think. But
the Apocalyptical is nothing like this song. It's completely different as well. Different.
I think
taste. It's like really different style.
It is different style, but I think if you go through the lyrics and how it's actually structured, I think you would find lots of parallels. I said it's similar. I still think it is similar in some sense. I wouldn't say it's similar as in like the same vibe, but I would say it's similar as in you can tell it's the same band. kind of.
Okay, I see what you mean. Is it it's not you said at the beginning of the year, it's not the same album, is it?
No. Apocalyptical is from this year, new album, and this one is 2010, so it's 10 years old already.
Yeah. And really, really enjoyable song, really enjoyable. And you can listen to it in a bit more easy level because there are certain themes that you can pick up like right away. But
Yeah.
again, there's still so much more. Oh, I think I really wanna discover more of Puscifer once we went through 10,000 days, because I'm also really excited for 10,000 days, in all honesty, especially after seeing your comments. Oh, cannot wait. Yeah, I think it's a good time to finish. This episode was a bit more easy, I'd say, in a sense, a bit more.
I think it still was.
Still going with the flow.
For me, it was very nice because I knew this song, but after like reading the lyrics and discussing it with you, I see it in a different light right now. So that's very nice.
Oh yeah, and how did you see it before? Was it just like a listen for you without kind of
So
focusing on it?
Like I said, I said that it resembles the title. So I more felt that this song rather than thought about this song. So it was more like just kind of to have this mood, but I never really paid that much attention to the lyrics, and I didn't think. I of course knew like, why can't I cross the river? I've never crossed the river, and at the end together, and I remember like parts like the angel and the second voice, but I never like gave it proper thought. So.
But I find it quite fascinating as well that I picked up on it right away. I know it's strange, but when I listened to this voice, like right away, it was almost as if he was asking for an angel and she was there. It was such a beautiful mixture.
So he was like, I don't know, the praying is a good word, but he was saying to someone, why can't I do it? Like, I have all these characteristics, but I still can't do that seemingly simple thing like crossing the river.
Yeah, and he needs somebody to helping hand. And it, angel is also a metaphor, right?
What if it's about a marriage metaphor? So you've got a traditionally masculine kind of person that needs like the second part, like his second part that will fulfill, like they will
Yin and Yang again, right?
Yang, exactly, yeah. Exactly.
So then not even a marriage, any strong relationship maybe. There is this, you should kind of be in like a pieces of puzzles.
Yeah.
You should kind of complement each other.
And like by yourself, you can't unlock all the things in the world, but when you have this other counterpart that is like have the missing pieces of you,
Yeah, and even on higher level, it doesn't even have to be, although it fits greatly, the marriage or the relationship, even the more general relationship, even, not everybody are in relationships, but there are people whose grandma, for example, serves as this role model.
Yeah, of course.
And that is able to give them this helping hand, so some kind of role model as
you
well.
You could think about this as also as parents. You've got one parent and the other parent that is traditionally different in some characteristics, and they're both kind of important.
That's actually a great metaphor, especially when you are a child. Yeah. And when you're a stubborn child, I don't know if you were, I remember I was quite a stubborn child. And when I was at a certain age, I couldn't understand certain things. I thought, why it's not working? And then you had, sometimes even, unconsciously, you were not fully aware that that's what your parents did, but they kind of helped you out. Or your, your grandparents. Amazing.
Yeah, and probably we're just scratching the surface and there's more levels into it.
Yeah, because another thing within the song, the whole warden, the braved icy forest quake, so it all kind of reminds about this dark ages type of atmosphere surrounding the song. So
crown and throne. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Almost as if you see this knight that is, fighting with the dragons and the actual angels waiting in the castle. So that's also another, the way this song is being written, that's also quite interesting and nice.
Yeah, I think it can be analyzed into so many different themes that follow that pattern of one thing and the opposite, but they work like yin and yang. I think that's built on that pattern,
Yeah.
especially. And yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I hope you will enjoy that as much as I did. I know you did enjoy it. The song. I hope I didn't disappoint you with my with my comments really and our analysis. But yeah, that's what I think really, and I really really enjoyed the song. And at the end of the day, no matter how you will interpret it, it's the way you feel it. Especially, I think it works pretty well here because it's a humbling river and it just flowed.
Oh, and the title now makes even more sense. The humbling river, the river that makes you humble because
Yeah.
you. Oh my God, I haven't actually realized that thing
Okay.
before. That's awesome.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for being with us as always, and see you next week. You have the whole calendar there. So yeah,
Thank you.
see you next week.